The opinions expressed of this show are for entertainment purposes and should not be misconstrued or interpreted as fact. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700.
We are back. Happy Saturday and welcome to episode 3 or week 4 of the Tailgate. Guys, if we named these episodes today, I think it would be the calm before the storm, because I don't know if you feel it. It's in the air, right? It's getting a little bit cooler outside, and we have an absolute banger of a slate of college football games tonight. Kicking off, at 6:30, you've got Florida LSU, you've got South Carolina Vanderbilt, you've got A&M Notre Dame. You've got Clemson, Georgia Tech early on. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And here on the Tailgate, you know how we do it. I got my guys Wine Time, Guns, Moose Money Bets right here with me. Shout out to you guys. And we give you best bets. We cap the games that we're betting, and we get straight to the money. So thank you guys, NJ Striker, Sports Scientist Jacob, Troy Torrance. There's Touchdown Troy in the chat, man. Man Bear Pig, good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while, my dude. Everybody, Stacks. He dropped Stacks already. He said Duke plus 106. Shout out to you, Stacks, my dude Justin. Got to get you back up here with us. But I digress. Let's go, boys. I want to ask all y'all how your week has been and how you're doing and how you're living. But we don't got time for that shit. Let's get straight to the money. I'm going to get our first graphic up real quick. And when I get it up, I'll let you start it and take it away. Wine Time. Let's get Clemson, Georgia Tech up.
Ooh. Yeah, I'll let someone out. This isn't my game. I got nothing in this.
Oh, not your game here? Okay. Guns, I heard you take it off. I can take it. I can start it.
I definitely have a take on this game.
Well, let's go. Then I'll let you take it, Guns.
Well, I mean, this is a perfect spot for Georgia Tech. I mean, pure and simple. You got Brent Key coming into this game. He's a dog. He's at home. He's on a 6-0 streak right now. ATS in these positions is a single-digit dog going against a conference opponent. They also do very good against ranked opponents, 9-5 ATS in those positions. I just think this is going to be one of those spots. Clemson, I'm just not impressed with. I think that offense is broken. Not having Phil Moffitt in the backfield, not having a good running back has really killed that offense. And I think with Georgia Tech, you look at that game against Colorado, and you might have said, like, well, you only beat Colorado by 7 points. I was like, well, they had 3 turnovers in that game, but they dominated the yardage. So they did everything they're supposed to do, but the turnovers were a problem. I love Haynes King. And I think this Clemson team, who struggled against Troy last week, is going to get their comeuppance against these Yellow Jackets, and they get it done. Sprinkle in the money line. Give me Georgia Tech.
Ooh. Man, I haven't bet this one. I think my fear was that maybe Georgia Tech would be a public dog, but there's a reason for that. Just like there was a reason for people fading Kansas State yesterday, because Kansas State sucks, and Clemson. Bringing them up with Kansas State, I expected Clemson to be a lot better football team than they were. I think I put too much stock in the returning players that Dabo Swinney had that were, not bad football players, like especially on that defensive line, but they weren't great by any means. And I don't know why in my mind I elevated some of those good players to great just because they had another season, because that didn't happen. And they're just average, and you see it a lot of different spots across this line and on this team. Clemson better wake the fuck up right now. And I know you still see that 12 by their name, but it's do or die for this Clemson team right now. And as far as Georgia Tech goes at home right here, you want to win this football game. You're not just looking to stay in it. Georgia Tech thinks they can win it, and that's because I think they can. I think their faith is put in the right place. Moose, you got anything on this one?
Yeah, give me Clemson. I'm going to take Clemson. Guns already alluded to the rush defense and Moffitt not being there. That is not the way you attack Georgia Tech. The way you attack Georgia Tech is you are going after that secondary, which came into the season as an issue and has played poorly in season. Get graded out in week 1 against Colorado at a 55. Graded out against FCS, who gives a shit, at a 65.4. The secondary is a concern. You look the other side of the ball. One of the best passing quarterbacks in college football. He did start off slow, but man, in that second half against Troy, he looked significantly better. And going into the season, we had him as a Heisman hopeful, and I don't think we're dropping off that far from the preseason idea of Clemson being a national title contender, Georgia Tech being an ACC hopeful. And if we're comparing title contender, hopeful, I'm going to take the title contender every day, all day. I get it. The market loves Georgia Tech. You got 44% of the tickets, 40% of the tickets, 44% of the cash on the Georgia Tech money line and the spread. But you are looking at the line going down. You've seen this move from about 5.5, 6, all the way down to a 3.5 and a 3. But I do think this is a bit of an overreaction on Clemson struggling a little bit. We have seen Clemson struggle out the gates the last couple of years. But Dabo against Georgia Tech in the last 8 appearances, 7-1-1. Straight up and ATS. I get it, man. We saw Miami going to Georgia Tech last year, but we also kind of forgot that Miami turned the ball over in that game. They won the yardage battle last year. Georgia Tech played a clean game against Miami, and Georgia Tech has had issues with turnovers. They had some issues last year with turnovers. They've had some issues this year. And I mean, look, if you want to compare the early season opponents, I mean, Clemson has played LSU and played who really gives a shit in Troy. But I mean, Georgia Tech played Colorado, who's clearly not going to be the team that I envision them, and they don't know who they are, and then played FCS. And yeah, they did well against the FCS, but that defense has not looked good. Their tackling has graded poorly. Their coverage has graded poorly. And even the rush defense didn't look great. Colorado was actually moving the ball a little bit against them. I'm going to take Clemson. I took the 3, and then when the 2.5 showed up, I took the 2.5. So give me Clemson, and when I expect to be a close game, I will take who I think is a better team.
There we go. We already got some head-to-head action, and I know we got a lot more head-to-head action coming up on these games today. Guys, we have people coming in bringing you best bets. When they do, just like our guy Kong's clips here in just a little bit, we'll big screen him. But I am going to put up one more game here, and I look at these games. I didn't even say this one. Like when I talked about big games, I didn't even say this one, which is crazy because we've got Georgia traveling to take on Tennessee. I mean, loaded slate of college football. If this doesn't get you excited, I don't know if you're in the right spot here today, because this is by far the most exciting week we've had yet, and I cannot fucking wait. But the Georgia Bulldogs, number 6, Kirby Smart led Georgia Bulldogs, going to take on Tennessee here, and Tennessee's the opposite of Clemson. Everybody was out on Tennessee talking about how it's going to be a rebuilding year. We see Nico Iamaleava, at UCLA. I won't go into depth on that because I know Wine Time just wants to just go ahead and let that be the past. He needs to enter the transfer portal and move on. But Tennessee did the opposite, man. They look better. They look good this year. Heupel's offense is always going to look like it looks, in my opinion. You just got to be functional at the QB spots. So Tennessee firing on all cylinders here. And that's why you got the -4 line for Georgia, because Tennessee's playing a lot better than what's expected. Wine Time, I'll let you take this one because I do know you got action here. But before I do, let's hit shout out to our guy Gorky. He dropped a dono, said, let's get it up there. And then our guy Sweet Lou right here. He said, in honor of the John Cena retirement tour, much love. Yeah, right. Hey, shout out to you, Sweet Lou, and all the members in the chat, man. We appreciate you guys supporting the channel. There is no channel without you, so thank you. You keep us rolling, but I digress. Let's go, Wine Time. What are we doing here?
Yes, sir. You guys know I'm heavily invested in this game. This is probably the most heavily invested I've been in a game all season long. It's because I've moved on it in 3 different parts. Listen, guys, yeah, Joey Aguilar is going to get a big home start here for Tennessee. Georgia Bulldogs coming to town, man. Listen, Tennessee, they beat Syracuse, probably one of the worst defenses in all of the Power 4 level. We saw them struggle in week 2. We saw Tennessee struggle with them. Outside that pick 6, they would have covered that spread. Listen, Joey has looked good. They've been kind of showing us everything that they're going to show us to this point because they got him so late in the transfer portal, came in for summer camp, didn't have time to practice with him in spring camp. He's looked good so far. Listen, guys, Georgia, I mean, they got a bunch of dogs over there, man. What did they do in this last offseason? They go grab Zachariah Branch, probably the most explosive football player with the football in his hand in all of college football, coming over from USC. Very electric in the kick return game as well. They returned their 3rd-team all-conference in Dalen Everett, who had a really good year. They also bring back Nate Frazier, my guy right out of here, Santa Ana, modern-day high school, 5-star recruit, was pretty much the number 1 back as a freshman last year. He was getting more touches than Etienne, it seemed like at times. his problem was fumbling the ball. I hope he's taking care of that this last offseason. He's a younger back, so we know they're going to struggle at times. This is when the brights are the lightest, and I think Georgia's going to absolutely pound the rock here with Nate Frazier and Gunnar Stockton. I think Stockton's going to run the ball a lot. I don't think we're going to see a lot of him throwing the ball here today. I don't want to see him throwing the ball, at least. He can throw a nice deep ball. His mechanic's a little bit off. He's definitely sloppy out there when you watch him play the quarterback position. But at the same time, they've had a lot less competitive quarterbacks for this program. This is a big step up in competition for Joey Aguilar. We saw him at Appalachian State his whole career do nothing but throw for a lot of yards, throw some touchdowns, and throw a lot of interceptions. He's really known for that interception. And this is a defense that he's never seen in his life in his 6 years in college football. And this is going to be a big step up in competition, athlete-wise, personnel-wise, coaching-wise. It's going against probably one of the best head coaches in all of college football, Kirby Smart. You got Glenn Schumann at the DC coordinator as well. I think he's going to have a great game plan for him. Give me Georgia -3, -120. Give me Tennessee, Georgia under 49.5, -110. And give me Tennessee team total under 23.5, -120. That's a 2-unit play. Don't throw 2 units on a lot of games this season and give them out like that. It's given out to you guys as a 1-unit play. But Tennessee ain't going to score 20 points in this ball game. This is going to be a low-scoring game. Georgia's going to pound the rock and burn clock.
Hey, Man Bear Pig in the chat. Did you say brights are lightest? Give him a break. It's the West Coast. It's freaking 7 a.m. over there.
I don't have ceiling lights. All right. I got a small lamp there and a small lamp there. So deal with it. Cab, you're
Take it away, Guns.
Yeah. I'm on Georgia. Just say
muted.
Georgia. We've seen this story
What
before.
the fuck?
Just
My bad.
like what happened?
I was muted and talking the whole time. I was like trying to laugh with you at wine time for saying the lights are the brightest, and then I'm sitting here talking on mute. So.
I thought it was. I didn't look over. I thought it was weirdly quiet.
Yeah, that's me. No, I was just gonna say wine time. At least it wasn't a player or a team you mixed up. At least it was.
I do that too. I do that too sometimes.
And everybody has to let you know in the comments every time you fuck up a name.
I love it. I love it. I missed it too. When I saw it, you said, "I go." Did he say brights or lightest?
Bro, one of the first times, guys, I was trying to talk about Arkansas. One of my first videos I ever did, and I said Alabama, I said Auburn, and I think I said 2 other teams that had an A. But what I didn't say was the team I was talking about, Arkansas. And then I went back and watched it. I was like, "What the fuck am I doing?"
I've done that. I've done that before. You do like a rant, and then you're saying the wrong team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyways, back to the game. Back to the game. What you looking at here, Guns?
I think it's Georgia. We've seen this story before. I was like, I don't care about like the sharp movement or anything like that with this one. I was like, this is their first real challenge of the year. I get that, but we've seen what Georgia does in these situations. They play like really soft in the first couple of weeks until the lights are brightest. And they play like a big team. Like you saw it like last year when they played Clemson at week 1. You saw them in a smash spot. Then they'll play like Austin P or they'll play like some FCS opponent. And all they're doing is they're not going to give you any sort of scouting material or any videotape to watch. They're just going to do some like on the offensive side, like experimental things to see what works and what doesn't work. And then the defense is going to do their job and hold that team to 3 points anyways. I mean, they'll dominate the yardage. And the score will not replicate what the box score says in the yardage. This is one of those spots. We've seen it before. They absolutely own Tennessee. 8-0 straight up, 7-1 ATS last 8 meetings. I know this is the lowest spread that we've seen since 2015 with Georgia, but I cannot get off the Georgia side. So I think the way I would play this personally, go look at the first half, because I think the first half line is going to be a little bit weighted. And that is going to be the spot to go take Georgia, because if Georgia's going to win this game, they're going to choke you out early. That's how Georgia does it. That's how Kirby Smart. And I just want the better coach. I don't trust Heupel at all. I trust Kirby Smart to get it done. So first half, Georgia is the way I play this one.
Muted again.
You know what? I'm trying to be polite so that there's not an echo when you guys talk, and so that I don't interrupt. And when never mind. Look, Georgia loves.
Yeah, we get it. Production, blah blah blah. I'm sure the chat really loves us to talk about our fucking tech issues.
Yeah, well, all I was going to say is 2 people here on the dogs. Like Wine Time said, pun intended. The dogs are full of dogs. Moose, are you following the train right here? Are you hopping on the Georgia? No, good. I love having opposite. Let's hear it. Tell me why Heupel and Tennessee is going to look good today.
Well, Guns referred to it that this is the smallest line that we've seen since 2015. Guns, what happened in 2015?
Probably lost. Yeah,
that's why they lost. It was an outright loss, and Tennessee at a smaller dog or is at home is kind of unexpected. I mean, last year it was a -8 at home against Georgia. Georgia at home -8, and they covered fairly easily. They got a 7-point cover on that, and they have absolutely dominated this series. So when I saw the 6 and my index was telling me like, hey, this is actually probably closer to a pick 'em. There are some questions on both sides of the ball here with both teams, and if Georgia wants to run the ball, fantastic. And I invite that because that's the strength of the Tennessee defense is their rush defense. And quite frankly, Georgia, their receivers have not been playing well. They have graded under 70. They've actually graded a 65.5 and a 60 against Marshall and FCS who gives a shit. The O-line's run blocking has graded very poorly, 64.8 against Marshall, 68.4 against FCS who gives a shit. And the offense as a whole, I mean, Guns did allude to it, though. Georgia at times will just throw out the most basic here, like, you know what we're going to do. We don't really care. We're just going to do this because we don't want to show anybody anything. I totally get that, but Heupel is also very much the same way. He might show something one week just to set up something the next week. I like Tennessee here. I would like the 4, but if you're getting underneath the 4, that is where I'm going to start holding off because I kind of think this is a field goal game. I do like the under in this one as well. Georgia offense, if they are struggling and run blocking, struggling with the receivers, yeah, I'm not exactly expecting them to score a ton of points. And Tennessee, yeah, Joey Aguilar has thrown the ball extremely well, but this is going to be his first SEC big-time test. How does he stand up? I think eventually he figures it out because I think he has shown improvement. The ball that he is throwing this year is significantly crispier than it was last year. And yes, crispier than it was last year because he did not step into throws nearly as effectively. Maybe he's going to have some issues stepping into the ball this year or today. I kind of don't think so. The Georgia pass rush has not exactly been the most stellar pass rush in the college football ranks. Look at their pass rush, and they have a 72 grade. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong one. They have a 59.8 pass rush against Marshall and a 70 pass rush against FCS. Who gives a shit? And they have a total of 2 sacks against crappy opponents. If they are not holding things back on their pass rush, they're going to have to be unloading a ton of different schemes. They're going to have to be doing stunts. They're going to have to be doing different disguises because they have not done anything that makes me think that the pass rush is going to be what we have typically seen from Georgia. So sign me up for +3.5, +4. I got the +6 on Saturday at -110. I threw 2 units at it because I was like, this is not the right number here. It did change. I will be happy with my +6. I would take a +4 here as it stands, but under 4, I am getting a little bit more hesitant on making a play.
I like full game. I agree. I think if I were to, gun to the head, no pun intended, I'd probably take Tennessee, but I think the line's weird. The line is very weird. Did not make my card. This is not an official play, but when I was looking at the first half, I just kind of said like, this is, Georgia could have the lead. And then all of a sudden, like Tennessee makes adjustments, boom. And then it's a close game. So could be that. This game, I really full game passed on. So, but the under, I like that look too, Moose. So I think it could be low scoring. However, it didn't really fit my line correlation from last year. I think it was like a 47 line. Now it's like 50.5. So
all the way on different sides. Tell you what, I like the under as well. I do think the under plays towards Georgia, though. That's what I would be leaning if I was taking the under here. Anyways, guys, we will probably be just because we passed this doesn't mean it doesn't come back. This is a best bet driven show. We're going to get our guy up here. We're going to big screen him. So I'm going to move the graphic really quick. And I know week 1, he absolutely dominated and then struggled a little bit week 2. And I think week 3 was a little bit better. But I know he's eager to get up here right now or week 2, whatever. Week 0 is so stupid. You guys know what I mean. He's eager to get up here on this 4th week of college football right here, ready to bring you guys some bangers along with his 2-unit parlay. And I know today he's going to absolutely smash the board. Our guy, Kong's Clips. Where's that intro at? I just had it. Shit. Strong. What up?
Yo, need everybody to wake the fuck up. It's Saturday morning. Hit that like button. Grab your pen and paper. You know what time it is. Time to make some fucking money, baby. Birthday week. Yeah, I'm feeling it, bro. Last night, 3-0. Got Houston through the hoop. Got Houston double result through the hoop. Arizona, boy, Kansas State looks rough. Yeah, that's where we're at, bro. And just to touch on the game you just hit, I do have a parlay with Houston and Georgia. But I tell you what, watching game day this morning, bro, they are fucking hype at Tennessee right now. Wow, bro. They're out there drinking moonshine, getting ready for the morning, bro. I'm telling you what, that campus is rocking right now. So that's a little nervy, but yeah, man, I'm on Georgia. I just got the money line. I'm not messing with the points. I think this would be a close game, low scoring. Yeah, so let's get straight into it, man. Best bets for the day. USC team total over 40.5, 40.5 points. USC is scoring a lot of points this season. But neither has Purdue. Purdue has played two absolutely bottom of the barrel teams. So it's a massive step up in competition for Purdue, and just a baby step up in competition for USC. I think USC blows them out. I think they put up a ton of points here. So I'm also on the over. USC team total over is 40.5 at -114. USC Purdue over 59.5 -105. Texas A&M playing Notre Dame. I did give out Notre Dame, I did give out Texas A&M plus the 6.5 on Monday. I like Texas A&M with the points today. I think this could be a dogfight. I think it's going to be high scoring. So give me the Texas A&M team total over 20.5. I did not write down what I got for that number. Go find it. You can find 20.5s everywhere. I would love them to score 3 touchdowns today, especially with how Notre Dame's defense looked in the only game they've played. Keep that in mind. Notre Dame has only played 1 game this season with a new quarterback, new defensive pieces. I don't think they're gelling yet. It's going to take Notre Dame a little bit of time, and you're not trying to get right when you're playing Texas A&M. So give me Texas A&M team total over 20.5. TCU playing Abilene Christian tonight. We seen what TCU did to North Carolina in week 0, I believe it was. Josh Hoover, man, this kid is a baller. I think he comes out and potentially throws for 4 or 5 touchdowns on Abilene Christian. I'm laying it. 36.5 is what I gave it out at. I did not check the lines this morning. Last night it was 37.5. TCU minus 36.5. That's a -115 spot. I think they blow Abilene Christian out early and often. Oregon headed to Northwestern. Go Ducks, baby. Oregon looks good, man. I gave Oregon a ton of shit preseason. Did not think Dante Moore was the answer. He's come out and proved me wrong, bro. This kid's making his throws. He's making his reads, his checkdowns. And he's got a damn good team around him, bro. They haven't played the best of competition, but I don't believe Northwestern is the best of competition either. It is at Northwestern. Give me Oregon Ducks -27.5. I think they put up giant numbers again this week, and I don't think Northwestern's going to be able to keep up. So Oregon -27.5, -105. Wisconsin heading to Alabama. Just a second here. Wisconsin. Yeah, Wisconsin heading to Alabama. Alabama come out week 1, laid a shitter, bro. went out to the middle of the Florida State stadium, stood on the logo, pulled their pants down, and took a massive shit in the middle of the field. That's what Alabama did week 1. They probably got bitched all the way out for practice that week, come back, put up some numbers, looked like they were clicking a little better. Defense was moving their feet, and that was the Alabama team we expected to see. I don't think Wisconsin keeps up here. I did not want to lay the full game number at 21.5 or over 21. So I'm laying the first half with Bama at 11.5, minus 105. If you ask me if Alabama is going to come in and score 2 touchdowns in the first half, I believe they do. And I also believe they can hold Wisconsin to no points. So I'm laying the first half minus 11.5, minus 105 with Alabama. I have a few touchdown props. For the record, these are half unit spots. I've been hitting a lot of these touchdown props and haven't been giving them out. If I'm hitting them, I'm going to give them out, guys. Haynes King, anytime touchdown, playing Clemson, minus 125. We know this kid's a baller. If he makes it through the game, I think he finds the end zone, minus 125. Haynes King is a runner. We know this. We know he's not going to play all season. He's going to get injured by the way he plays. He puts his body on the line every single down, and it's just a matter of time with Haynes King. Lenore Sellers, anytime touchdown. I mean, it's Lenore Sellers playing Vanderbilt. I'm going to expect him to find the end zone at some point today because they don't have much else going for them on the offensive side of the football. So I think Lenore Sellers takes it in his own hands, conference game, and he finds the end zone, plus 100. DeCorian Moore for Oregon. This kid is a dynamic receiver. This is the one touchdown prop that I do have a full unit on at plus 110. He's a great target. He's super quick. And this kid's been finding the end zone already early this season. Give me DeCorian Moore anytime touchdown for Oregon. That is your more to more hookup. Quarterback Moore and receiver Moore hooking up for a touchdown. This is the plus money prop of the week. Jaden Mayava, over 2.5 touchdowns thrown, plus 106. I think Jaden Mayava finds the end zone with his receivers multiple times this game. To ask for him just to throw 3 touchdowns is a little absurd to me on a Purdue defense. So I'm playing that as my plus money prop of the week. It's only plus 106, so I'm going to come back with another big play in this game, and that is Makai Lemon. If you guys have not seen this receiver for USC, this dude, all he's got to do is get the ball in space, and if there's nobody around him, they're not catching him, bro. This kid is super fast, and he's very good with the ball, bro. He knows what moves to make upfield to get open. He knows where to run on the field. Sometimes you see guys taking the wrong angle with the ball and getting hawked down from behind. This kid is dynamic with the football in his hands, and I expect him to find the end zone twice this game. Plus 360. Half unit. This kid finds the end zone at least once, if not twice today. I'm playing it, bro. Plus 360 for a half unit. It is a massive weekend in the sports world this weekend. So it's only right that I come in here with a multi-sport parlay at 1 unit. We're touching all the sports, guys, except for hashtag fuck baseball. Jaden Mayava, 3+ passing touchdowns. I've already explained that one. Gene Silva, money line tonight in the UFC. going to be a great fight. It's going to be a dog fight. Shout out TC. TC is on the other side of me in this fight, which has not boded well for me, to be honest. But I like Gene Silva tonight. I think he's got faster hands. I think he's got a really good submission game, and I think he potentially gets Diego Lopez out of there. If not, wins the decision. So give me Gene Silva money line. Callum Walsh in the boxing world. There is a massive boxing event tonight. We got Bud Crawford fighting the GOAT, Canelo Alvarez. The co-main event in this fight, Callum Walsh. It's Dana White's protege, the only guy he sponsors in the boxing world. Give me Callum Walsh money line. Philadelphia Eagles tomorrow night playing Kansas City. Philly money line. I don't see how Kansas City comes in with the team they have and beats Philadelphia. So give me the defending champions going into Kansas City and beating a weak Kansas City team that we haven't seen too much in the past 10 years. Plus 574 for one unit. That's the multi-sport parlay. Now to the 2-unit parlay. Let me hurry up. Taking a lot of time here. USC team total over 40.5. Texas Tech alternate spread minus 13.5. Texas A&M alternate spread plus 17.5. I think that's a low scoring game. I think getting 17.5 with A&M is a auto cover. We shall see. And TCU minus 36.5. Plus 463. That is the 2-unit parlay of the week. Got to throw some alternate spreads in there because I've got to get on track with these. So I think we make it easier for ourselves, go in, get some money, and we come back next week with the confidence we need to hit the 2-unit parlay. Love you guys. Appreciate you for having me. Happy motherfucking Saturday. Hit the like button. Love you guys, Kong, and I'm out of here.
Oh, I guess I should move us back to the middle. Shout out to our guy Kong bringing us the heat right there. And now, guys, I'm going to put the banners up and we're going to go back. If you don't have action or thoughts on it, guys, just feel free passing it because there's 4 of us up here and somebody probably does. As a matter of fact, I know somebody does on all the games I got graphics for. So let's get this thing rolling here. Let's hit that one that he left us on, I feel like, or the last individual game, the Wisconsin-Alabama game. And shoot, if I remember correctly, Wisconsin covered this last year, right?
No, they got blown out. It was when Tyler Van Dyke went down on the opening drive.
That is what I knew. There was something that was standing out. Their quarterback went down on the opening drive. That's what it was here. For me, guys, and like I said, I'm not going to, get long-winded on something I don't have a bet on. I think it's probably too big of a number for an Alabama team I don't trust. I do not like maybe I'm just buying into shit that I shouldn't be reading, but I don't like the mentality that Caleb DeBoer has brought to this Alabama team. I don't think it's conducive of what they want, at a place like Alabama. But I'll let you take it with Wine Time. You got anything on this one?
Yeah, I broke this game down with Jimmy on Friday. I'm on the under 46.5. You can't find that number anymore. It's mostly 45s all across the board, maybe even 44.5s, I believe. This game's going under. Backup quarterback's going to be starting for Wisconsin. No surprise. I don't think anyone thought Billy Edwards was going to be able to go today. Ironically, their quarterback, they're kind of like each year they rotate. They get an old transfer quarterback, and these guys get hurt every single year. It seems like just another guy in Billy Edwards. Who knows when he comes back? That being said, Wisconsin, I think, can hang on the lines of scrimmage with Alabama on the defensive and offensive side of the football. They've got some guys in the trenches that I like up there. I mean, they got some big boys up there. It's really their offense. Can they score? And that's my biggest thing in this game. If they can cover the spread, is if they can just put maybe 10 points on the board. I just went with the under because I don't see any way that this game even gets to 40. I think Alabama could probably score 24 and probably put their foot on the brake and probably burn this game out because Wisconsin's going to probably play some solid defense out there. I do think they can hang in the trenches with Bama. I think this is a clear cut under 46.5. I'd still say take it out of 45, but I love this under. I got this on Tuesday.
Hell yeah. I guess we're kind of a staggered moose. Anything on this one?
Nothing really. I mean, Jam Miller's still expected not to play. I don't have anything on there. I would definitely lean the under, but there's so many variables. There's so many unknowns to this because Wisconsin also has a question at center if Jake Renfro is actually going to be playing or not. They expect him to play, but still, you're talking now about a center exchange that could potentially have two different people. Granted, Edwards and his backup, Renfro's backup, who is not coming to my mind, but.
You think he's a San Diego State guy, right?
He might be. I'm not 100% sure. I don't have all my notes right in front of me. I kind of passed on this game when I saw wow, there's a lot of things in this game that I just don't know how to cap. I also don't know how to cap how the hell Alabama was going to be responding to all this. The players came out and defended DeBoer. They were like, no, he is you don't even see him in practice. He's a dog out there. It's okay, but you guys played like puppies. So you can't say he's a dog in practice, but then go out and play it's puppy pound out there or puppy patrol, paw patrol.
I was about to say he lets them paint their fucking fingernails and carry fucking support stuffed animals and fucking purses and whatever.
You think Nick Saban would allow that? No.
Yeah. And I think there were some people that did bring that up. It's Nick Saban wouldn't allow any of this. And it's well, no shit. I mean, the dude's old school. These old school guys generally don't allow new things unless you're Bill Belichick going after a 22-year-old.
That was a good job. Good job with that. Guns, anything here?
Hold on, do we get a laugh on that one?
Yeah, that was a good one.
So what I hate about this line, I just think it shot up on the sheer fact that Billy Edwards isn't playing, right? So the book's heavily adjusted to it, maybe an overreaction in the market. I think the take that Wine Time said about the under is probably the way I would do this one, but I completely skipped this game knowing there was some key injuries of players on the Wisconsin side of the ball that I didn't want to mess with. And Alabama with Kalen DeBoer, you got to show me something. I haven't seen anything from you. You look like a unranked team against Florida State, and Florida State beat you like they were the bigger favorite in the game. That's what it looked like to me. So stayed away from this one. I need to see more of a sample size out of Bama before I jump on them.
Couldn't agree more. So I'm going to keep it rolling, guys. Like I said, I don't know exactly what games we have, but God, there are so many great football games today. And Wine Time, I do think that we have action in this one. Arkansas traveling to take on Ole Miss here. So if you got Wine Time, I'll let you take this one. You're on mute.
My bad. Apologies for that. Yeah, I'm on the Arkansas. I got the 7 minus 110. I wish I would have gotten at the better number, but I wasn't able to. Listen, I think Taylor Green's going to be the best quarterback on the field here in this game. A lot more experienced quarterback, too. You got Simmons on the other side. Surprised Lane Kiffin, he's a portal genius. He knows how to recruit. Surprised that this kid was his starter going into this year. I was very shocked that they didn't go after someone in the portal. This guy kind of waited his turn last year behind Dart. Played decent at times, but I don't really like a lot of the things I see from this quarterback. Last year as well, I mean, why was Ole Miss so good is because of their defense and the defensive front. I mean, that defensive line was the best defensive line Ole Miss has ever had, potentially in this program, and they played really well. They lost a lot of those guys and didn't really replace them with the talent that they had last year. I think Arkansas up front's going to be able to hold their end of the bargain here, and I think Taylor Green's going to be able to take off and run with it. They've got two really nice dynamic running backs. One of them 6'2", 245 pounds, an absolute beast, true sophomore out there. Watch out for him. I think Arkansas is going to run the ball a lot here. I think they're going to score a lot. I also think Ole Miss is going to score a lot as well, and this is probably going to go over. With that being said, I think Arkansas can easily hang in a shootout with Ole Miss, if not win this game outright. I think 7 points is still too many. I wish I would have gotten at the better number. I believe this opened up at what did this open up? Was this a 9 as well?
It was. I know it was over 7.5
on Sunday.
Okay,
I had 8.5, 9 on Sunday.
8.5, 9. Yeah. So if I would have capped on Sunday like I normally do, I would have gotten at a better number. Got it on Tuesday, so I didn't get as good of a number. I'm still going to take it with Arkansas. I think they hang in this game. It's an SEC matchup. Two of these teams, I feel like they're pretty similar in talent. And I think Sam Pittman kind of needs this win right here to get their season just rolling in the good direction, heading into SEC play. Give me Arkansas.
I'll let you take it, Moose, real quick, man. Shout out to the over 150 people on YouTube and then almost 400 between YouTube and X that are rocking with us. If you're on X, jump over to YouTube, Pub Sports Radio on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button and jump in the chat with us. Drop y'all's action in there. But thank you to everyone that's rocking with us. We appreciate you. Share the video. We want to see if we can get up over 250. That's our goal for this week. If we do, I'll start next week with a $50 giveaway for somebody in the chat. I'll just have Gronk pick it or something like that. Make it easy. But Moose, what's your thoughts here?
Let me just go ahead and read the Phil Steele bit right here. This is pretty telling.
I love it.
Arkansas has covered 10 of the last 12 versus Ole Miss, including 6 outright upsets. They were blasted at home, lost 63-21. But the last time here, the Hogs took a lead in the fourth, but lost 27-20 as a 13-point dog. And again, covering these games have traditionally been covered by 7 points or less. If I go back to 2021, taking last year out, because I just said it was a blowout against Mississippi. It was a 20-27 game. Against Mississippi, it was a 42-27 win. Against Mississippi, it was a 51-52 loss. So they either won outright or they covered, and they covered within 7 points. So if you are giving me 7 points on Arkansas against Ole Miss, who Austin Simmons has not looked good as a quarterback. I mean, it is a major step down from Jackson Dart. His grading for the first 2 games was very poor. He graded a 72.2 against Georgia State, which does not have a very good secondary. And then against Kentucky last week, he was awful. He graded out at a 36.5 with 2 interceptions, no touchdowns. He's been more effective as a runner, but he really hasn't been effective as a runner all that much. The receivers have played okay. Running back has been where you've seen the best production out of Ole Miss. The O-line for Ole Miss has been really poor. I mean, they've graded out week 1 run blocking against Georgia State, 59.8. Yeah, they got a lot of yards. That was because the running backs did such a good job, and there were so many schemes that got them in open space. It was very early on that you saw Kiffin kind of realize, like, hey, I got to get my guys out in space. They're too explosive to try to run between the tackles. And then week 2, run blocking was also, again, not good, 44.9. And Kiffin, again, was like, I just got to get my guys in space. So what's going to happen against Arkansas? He's going to try to get them in space. But Arkansas, man, their tackling has been kind of up and down. So it's a little, no, hold on. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the wrong one. Tackling for Arkansas this season, if I pull it up here, has been really good. Graded week 1 against FCS, who gives a shit, 80.1. And then against Arkansas State last week, a 77.1. So if you are putting Ole Miss runners out in space, Arkansas has already proven that they can tackle, and they can tackle effectively. Give me Arkansas on a touchdown. I'll take Arkansas touchdown, sprinkle the money line as one of my better plays this week.
Muted, Cab.
Good.
On the chat, Billy said on the road of I-95, holding a sign, former gambler that lost on UCLA, help.
Oh man, that's
hilarious.
That's
Why are
funny.
you betting on that dog shit fucking team with a terrible coach? They're
Don't
just
worry. One time he's not had anybody texting him like, hey, Nico is trash. He has not had anybody telling him every week that Nico is overrated and that
not even my cousin that goes to Tennessee.
Yeah,
bad
have that going on at all.
bad coaching. It's bad coaching.
It's Deshaun Foster. If you hear his post-game interview, it's the worst post-game interview you'll ever hear.
Good with Josh Heupel, and now he sucks. As like it's coaching.
I'm above that one time.
It's more of like the flags.
I'm better than that one time. When my friends are going through a hard time or they lose a bet, I don't send them a text. I'm not an asshole. So
I don't either.
Yeah, you just grade their joke.
I do.
Yeah, just remember that. Speaking of do you got anything on this one? Guns, Arkansas, Ole Miss?
Actually, I didn't, but then I started looking at like the total on this one, and I saw the total was at 62.5, and I was like, what was it last year? It was 54, and it went over. They scored 94 points last year between the two teams. 94. And then they bump it up this high means the correlation that we're going to be seeing a over 70 type of scoring situation between the two teams. Now, I don't know about the side. I know Lane Kiffin apologized to gamblers last week for allowing that field goal that cover, which I appreciate. I didn't have the side, but I do appreciate the sentiment that he gives to gamblers. And he's been doing this since he was at FAU, by the way. putting out tweets about like, oops, we messed up a spread for you guys. Sorry. But I think on the total, we can take advantage of this one. It's going to be a high scoring affair. You look at Arkansas's offense in the last 2 weeks, they put up 52 and 56. Granted, this is FCS, and this is a G5 school that they win against. I think this is going to be scoring. And I think from both sides it's going to be scoring. Look for an electric time here in I don't even know where it is in Mississippi, but it's the fucking whatever, the bow ties and the weird mint juleps that are out there in Ole Miss, but over all day long.
All right, so we got the over, we got some Arkansas love. I'm gonna keep trying to put
hotty. That's what I was trying to say, not mint juleps. Fuck, it's hotty toddy.
I'm trying to go to. There's two more that I know. I'm trying to save A&M Notre Dame for last. I'm not going to lie, guys. And I've got plenty of more graphics, but I'm trying to go to the best ones. I did not bet this game, but to me, this looks like a very interesting game as far as the spread goes. And I know our guy Stacks said Stacks play of the day is Duke taking the Blue Devils right here. Personally, I did not bet this game. Did anybody on the board here with me bet this one?
I do have an opinion on it. But I'll let anybody step up unless you want.
Moose has it, and then I'll pass it to you, Guns. What you betting here, Moose?
All right, let me go ahead again and refer to our handy dandy Phil Steele magazine, the holy gospel of college football. The Green Wave have lost 3 straight in the series against Duke. Last meeting in 2015, so who really gives a shit about that stat? But since beating Wake Forest in 95, Tulane 0-9 straight up and 2-7 ATS versus the ACC. Yes, they've done well against non-conference, but when you look at their non-conference schedule and who they have played in those games, they are not playing some of the P5s or the P4s. They are playing some of the lower levels. You are seeing them from the Gun Belt. You are seeing them from Coosa. You are seeing them from the MAC. And this is the step up that when Tulane does that little hierarchy of going to the better competition, they don't handle it all that well. And Mensa has looked extremely good at Duke. And I kind of think that this is a nice spot for Duke to go in on the road where Manny Diaz has done a good job on the road. I think Duke is the better team here. They're on the road, but Tulane with Retzlaff hasn't looked all that consistent. So if I'm talking about Duke, who has played well on the road against a Tulane team that I'm still kind of like, I'm not sure what this offense is supposed to look like, because week 1 against Northwestern, we were all kind of like, oh, wow, this Tulane team might actually be somewhat legit. And then week 2 came around, you're kind of like, all right, they're decent, but they're not overly impressive, because we thought they would just stomp down on South Alabama. And when you run 72 plays against South Alabama, you should have more than 406 yards. They're good on third down, but Duke has also been good on third down. And if we're going back to last week when Duke was one of our more popular plays against Illinois at home, Illinois is significantly better than Tulane. So I'm going to take Duke on the road. Manny Diaz has had success there against Tulane, who I'm still not exactly sure what Tulane team is out there, because their defense, again, hasn't really looked good. Week 1 against Northwestern graded 60.6. Tackling was good, but they were allowing way too many yards. And really, quite frankly, it was Preston Stone that just looked awful in week 1. And then against South Alabama, the tacklings went poor, graded out 55.3. They allowed 421 yards. They did stop 2 of 4 of the fourth down conversions, forced 2 fumbles. But, I mean, give me Duke here. I'll take them. I took them on the money line, just like our boy Stacks.
Thoughts, Guns? I didn't bet this one. So, and I look, we've got 3 more really good games that we haven't talked about.
I didn't bet this one either, but I think it's a Duke side all day long. You look at Duke last week. I mean, they did get crushed. I had Duke, and I was just absolutely floored by their performance, and it was because of turnovers. They drove the ball down the field, but they were -5 turnover ratio in that game. They actually won the yardage battle against Illinois. Illinois, by the way, we're not going to be buying a lot of Illinois spots. I think the stock is too high on them, and I think we can really take advantage of them in the market as they get into conference play. But with Duke, I think Manny Diaz has got them in the right direction. Mensa, a little bit of a homecoming, coming back. Going against Tulane. He was a Tulane quarterback, brought them to the AAC championship, lost to Army So he's going to be ready to go. He's going to be fired up to go play his former team. Metzlaff coming over from BYU because he stuck his D in the P. You can't do that as a Mormon, but especially without a wedding ring. But that's why he's over there at Tulane. And the one thing that's going to happen in this game, if Duke is able to pass the ball, 300 plus passing yards in both games for Duke this season. And I saw them give up a lot of passing yards against South Alabama last week. I'm talking about Tulane. So I think Duke is probably the right spot in there. I'm surprised they're a dog, but I'm taking the better team statistically. I think Duke is a lot better than people think. The outcome of last game was misleading because of the turnovers. If Mensa is able to not get turnovers in this game, it's a Duke spot all day long.
Not to mince words, but when you said I'm taking, you meant like hypothetically if you bet it, right?
Hypothetically, I don't have a side on this one.
Okay,
Just take one side or the other. Let me just be clear about this one.
Yeah, just making sure.
Yeah, I think it's a Duke spot.
Gotcha. Shout out to our guy, my dude in the chat. I will definitely put up that Vanderbilt game. Let's go ahead and hit this one before I cross through it. I see some people saying, look, imagine if you can name plenty of teams. Let's say Clemson. Imagine if Clemson had two top 25 wins in their first 2 games of the year. Where would they be ranked? Or you could throw other people, right? They'd be number 1, right? Or where would all these South Florida's got 2 top 25 wins, and they're sitting here at 18th with another 17.5 spread. Now, I have not bet this game, guys, because I don't want to be on the darling dog. I know that this is the world's favorite dog right here. Everybody knows what South Florida did last week, but I still think it's too many points. I'm not a huge fan of Carson Beck. I know he had a good game against LSU, or I just blanked. What was his? No interceptions, 2 touchdowns. What was it? I had it in front of me earlier, but and I just said LSU. Excuse me. Carson Beck had a good game in his first game, but I still never have been, and never will be a huge. Yeah, Notre Dame. That's complete one of those what we were talking about earlier. Like I watched the whole fucking football game, but anyways, I would take South Florida if I bet this game. That's who I'd be on. I have not bet it. Anybody here bet it? Wine Time, you bet this one?
I did not bet this one. I don't know why my shit's going off right now. It's so annoying. Sorry about that. I'm trying to turn my notifications off, and I did, but I guess one specific person can message me. But anyways, guys, going into this game, Bynum Brown, I like this guy at the quarterback position for USF. This guy's a dynamic athlete, great size for the position. Love everything that they're doing over there. 2 big top 25 wins. First one coming against Boise State. I was on the money line in that game. I thought that they were going to win that game outright. Boise took a wrong step in the wrong direction this last offseason, losing Genty. The quarterback, I don't think, is as good as people think. And I think Boise's should have never belonged in the top 25 to start this season. Miami, this team deserves it. They're number 5 for a reason. They beat the team that went to the national championship last year on a national stage. But here they come on, and they're in-state rivals, USF. This team wants to knock off Miami right now. I mean, this would make their season. They got to win here. And whatever happens the rest of the way, they'll probably win their conference. But, I mean, this is a big-time game for the state of Florida. They already took out Florida University last week. Why can't they do it this week? I think it's because it's a 17.5. I think Miami's probably going to blow the doors off these guys for a reason. So for that reason, I'm off this game. I could only lean on USF, but I just think this should be priced at like a 12.5 maybe if USF was going to actually compete in this game. So it's going to be a pass for me.
Fucking Chad is just ripping Wine Time on his dings right now.
Hey, I sent him you guys, you should know too. I literally sent him a text that said "ding," LOL.
Oh, dude, I should have did it.
That's good. That's good. That's really good. Was that the last ding too?
No, it didn't go off. I was so sad. I was like, come on. But I definitely, you can see my last text just says "ding," LOL, that I sent to him.
Yep. Confirmed. Exhibit A.
So, anyways, Moose, you bet this one?
No, I didn't. I actually kind of think on the other side, I think this might be not enough points. There's Miami against in their last game. I mean, they were ridiculously good. 543 yards on 66 plays, almost perfect on third down. The defense was very good. It's FCS, so they're going to be really good. But were they as good as they should have been? The pass coverage was a little suspect, and it has been a little suspect. So if there's going to be an area that USF can try to exploit, it would be through the passing game. But I mean, I'm not exactly sure Brown is that type of quarterback. He's threw the ball well and efficiently as a quarterback in his first week against Boise State, 16-24 for 210 yards. But against Florida, he threw the ball very poorly. Yeah, the numbers kind of look good at the end of the day with 263 yards and 1 touchdown. But there were a lot of completions close to the line of scrimmage. There were a lot of missed open receivers. And there were some near interceptions that if Florida was actually able to catch the ball in the secondary, they would have had some picks. So I kind of think that this might not be enough points because this is the public dog. This is the darling dog that everybody wants to get. And I don't know. Maybe I'm seeing a ding something else, but I'm not sure. Ding, there might be a couple of things that I might not be really focusing too much on with USF ding, but I kind of feel like this is Miami if you're taking the points ding, and that's the only side ding I could really go to ding.
Anything for you, Guns, on this one?
Ding, ding.
Yeah, I'm on the total. Here's the problem with the side. The side, yes, is another inflated line like we saw last week with Florida. But they were like minus 17.5 to South Florida last year with Byron Brown at the quarterback for Miami. Won that game 50-15. But that was on the road. Now they're at home. It's the same line. I hate that, but I like the total on this one because the total is like at 56.5. Last year it was at 65. So they're expecting lower scoring in this one, and I think that has some validity. Of course, Miami already comfortable at home, third leg of a 4-game homestand. They just beat Bethune-Cookman and just had a bunny on this one. But with USF in this situation, you look at the 2 games that they won. I think it's a little bit misleading outcome. They were +3 in the turnover ratio against Boise, and Boise just kept going for it on 4th down and not converting, giving USF field position. They had 6 turnovers in that game, but USF only scored 17 points. So they didn't really convert a lot of these turnovers and capitalize on them, even though they got the win. And then with Florida just stepped on their dick. 3 straight field goals when they were in USF territory, and they had one of those balls picked off in 4 key areas where they should have scored points, left points on the board. And that has to do with a lot of the coaching with Billy Napier. I think he's done. He's finished there. So I don't like the side, but I do like the total. I think it's going to be low scoring. And that Miami defense with the new defensive coordinator coming over from Minnesota, that's going to be something that we're going to watch. I think Miami's defense is drastically improved. And I think Miami's going to control most of the game. I just don't know how much they're going to win by, but I think it's going to be low scoring. Give me the under.
Under. There we go. So we got another take on it. I'm going to keep it rolling, guys, because we've got 2 more that I want to hit before we get to what I think is the best game of the day, the A&M Notre Dame game. And I know Guns agrees with me on that one. And then we'll hit any questions you guys have. We still got best bets coming in from Gorky back there. So we still got a lot more action, but I'm going to keep it moving here. Where did that Vanderbilt game go? Sorry, guys. I had it right here. There it is. Vanderbilt, South Carolina. And I have more to say on this one than most games. Look, this is an exciting game with both these quarterbacks, Diego Pavia and Sellers over there for South Carolina. I expect both of them to be electric. Vanderbilt was that darling dog that everybody liked to bet on last year because they were an underdog most of their games and they covered in a huge majority of them. And I don't know why people acted surprised when Vanderbilt went out and covered again this year in their first 2 weeks, because this is just a team that has continuity, rhythm, and they just mesh. They flow well on the field. I mean, Pavia obviously leading the way, but he's got his leading receiver back. He's got his best running back. He's got linemen back. Vanderbilt's a school where you're not going to see as much turnover as some of these other places. So I think Vanderbilt is in a good situation this year. Shout out to our guy Skunk Blaster dropping the 5 Pub Sports Radio donos, man. I'll definitely stop to hit you for that, man. Much love. It means the world. Anybody that can get a membership, grab one. It keeps us rolling here at Pub Sports Radio, so thank you. But South Carolina, man, they opened at a 5.5 here, and I couldn't get on board at the 5.5. And I know the books might be begging me to bet this -3, but I'm not going to lie. I want the -3. The bet that I did make was the over 48 here. Last year, this game was South Carolina 28, Vanderbilt 7. So it was not a game that was a shootout. There were not a lot of points in it. And it was an ugly, slow football game, which is what South Carolina likes. I don't think Vanderbilt lets South Carolina play that same football game here. I do think South Carolina wins the football game, but I think Vanderbilt puts more pressure on them. I think Diego Pavia and this offense find the end zone at least 3 times. And if they find the end zone 3 times, this football game goes over. So I got over 48 personally on this one. That's where I'm at. I'd love to hear what the rest of you guys think. Wine Time, take it away.
Yeah, I actually don't have a play in this one, guys. I didn't make anything. This was an interesting game. I probably was going to go with Vanderbilt, but I think I'm not going to take them at the number you can get right now. I think this is going to be a good matchup between 2 good SEC teams that could potentially be there when it's all said and done. Vanderbilt had a really good second half against Virginia Tech last week, blew the doors off of them. They showed what that offense can do. It's going to be a pass for me. I didn't want to bet this game. There's so many other good games I've got going today, so this is not one of them.
I try not to, go too long, but I'll say this too. If you're somebody who's looking at week 1 and week 2, do not look at South Carolina versus Virginia Tech and then Vanderbilt versus Virginia Tech and say, okay, Vanderbilt was on the road and they played better than South Carolina did at home, so I'm going to bet Vanderbilt. Don't do that. I'm not saying Vanderbilt's not the side. Just don't do that. South Carolina didn't have any game tape. They were going in blind against an offense that was unknown, right? There are just differences. Every matchup is its own matchup. Moose, what you got here?
All right. So when I looked at this game, I was kind of thinking, all right, well, South Carolina has dominated this matchup. I mean, last year they dominated Vanderbilt. They were the only team to hold Vanderbilt under 10 points. They held them under 200 yards, and Pavia did not look good. And it was the South Carolina defense that really, they had a front 7 that was just one of the best in the country. So this year, you have to look at kind of the discrepancy in what's being brought back. South Carolina is only bringing back 48.7% of their lettermen, and they're only returning 5 on defense versus Vanderbilt. So if I scroll all the way up to Vanderbilt's side, Vanderbilt is returning 17 starters, 9 on offense, and 64.6% of lettermen from last year. And what does a team that returns a lot of players that got skunked the year before against a team that skunked them that now has a bunch of new players? The motivation edge is significantly on the Vanderbilt side, and the South Carolina defense has looked good, but there are some areas of concern, specifically in the pass defense. And I get it, but Pavia is not exactly a passing quarterback, but this year he's looked very good throwing the ball. 83.9 grade his first week against FCS. Who gives a shit? With 275 yards, he only had 5 incompletions and 3 touchdowns. And then last week against Virginia Tech was excellent, and the 92.2 PFF grade, only 6 incompletions, 193 yards, 2 touchdowns. Yeah, there was an interception, and again, very efficient as a runner. The O-line, the O-line hasn't been great. The run blocking against FCS was good, but the run blocking against Virginia Tech was not very good. The pass blocking has been very poor. So can the South Carolina pass rush get to Pavia, which has not been overly impressive? Graded out as a 66.6 in week 1 against Virginia Tech, and graded out as a 64.9 against FCS. Who gives a shit? And you compare the games of how South Carolina played against Virginia Tech and how Vanderbilt played against Virginia Tech. South Carolina only was able to score 24 points against Va Tech in a neutral site versus Vanderbilt, who, kind of went off against them. As I bring up the total from last week, Vanderbilt put up last week against Virginia Tech in Virginia Tech 44 points. So the market moving heavily towards Vanderbilt started at 5.5 with 58% of the bets coming in on South Carolina spread and 97% of the bets coming in on the money line moving towards Vanderbilt. The total, 75% of the cash, 89% of the bets on the under, the total moving to the over. So if market's telling me Vanderbilt, if market's telling me over, there is a bet that kind of correlates to those two things, and that is the Vanderbilt team total over, which I grabbed this morning at 21.5 minus 125.
It's 21.5?
I like that.
Yes, it is.
That's high. I mean, I think they get it, but I thought it would be like 19.5 or 18.5. But yeah,
I think it's going off of last year when they were held under 10 points, and now they're going on the road. But the big point that I think a lot of the bettors aren't aware of is the returning difference in Vanderbilt versus South Carolina. You go, oh, they got Lenore Sellers, they got Nick Harbor, dude. It's like everybody's coming back. Like, no, especially not on defense. They're only returning 5 starters on defense and none in the front 7.
Well, I want to hand this to Guns, but I'll say what to echo what Moose said about Vanderbilt wanting this football game, they only lost one football game last year by more than a touchdown. You know what football game that was? It was this one right here against South Carolina. And there was an interview with Diego Pavia early on in the season, and they said, hey, is there a certain game that you have circled on your calendar or that you're looking forward to the most? And I mean, without any hesitation, South Carolina. Like, he was ready for the question. He said, South Carolina, I want South Carolina. Now, if that should make you think, oh, great for Vanderbilt. But if Beamer or South Carolina is any good at their coaching job, that's a bulletin point. I'm putting it up there and saying, hey, look, Diego Pavia wants you. He's calling you out. So I don't know how much I take into stock into that. But Guns, what's your thought?
I think the outcome of last year's game was a little bit misleading. It was a bad spot for Vandy. I mean, Vandy was playing their sixth game in 6 weeks, and they just came off an upset win on the road to go face Auburn. They beat them, and then they had to play Texas the week prior to that. So they were just gassed going in this game. When you look at the South Carolina side, they were on their second game after a bye. So they were well rested, well prepared. And if you look at the stats, South Carolina plays bad at home, but they're good on the road, which is really weird for a college football team, especially last year. I know South Carolina owns a history on this one, but you have a very low number and it just keeps dropping. I just think situationally we may see a better game than last year. We'll see what happens in this one. I know, like Moose said, it's like Lenore Sellers kind of has been this pillar that everybody is on their soapbox standing up for the Gamecocks. I'm like, you got to understand that it is a team game, and there's guys that you don't know, maybe on the offensive line, the defensive line, that are not even there anymore. And that was the key to their success in a lot of cases. I mean, if you watch that documentary on Netflix with Sellers, there was positions where Sellers had the game like on his back and ready to roll, and he did not finish the job. So I'm not high on this kid at all. And I think with Diego Pavia, you know what you're getting out of him. He's a winner. He just goes out there and balls. He's scrappy. He's Sandlot-esque. He's like Johnny Manziel 2.0 over there at Vandy. Clark Lee's a great coach. I take him over Beamer any day. I mean, Clark Lee comes from the Notre Dame extension. I'm maybe a little bit biased, but how are you going to ignore this short line on an unranked team versus a ranked opponent? I'm telling you, it is very suspicious. And if I was looking at this game, I'd look at Vandy.
So we're kind of in agreement there. Man, it's wild to me how many really good football games that we've already talked. I mean, just great football games that we've talked about today. And I still have two more. Like this,
yeah.
It's just fucking wild. Today is fucking wild.
I know.
Well, last week sucked nuts. It was so bad.
we got
like, week one was awesome. Awesome.
You got Oklahoma, Michigan, and that's it.
And Michigan State, BC. That was the two games I was watching. Those were the games.
We've got multiple bangers on all throughout the day, 9 a.m., 12 p.m.
The 7 o'clock slate. Like, I mean, Daby and I were talking backstage. Is like, what are we going to do? Because, like, he's an A&M fan. I'm a Notre Dame fan. And usually I have Notre Dame on the big TV. But now I have to have, like, 4 or 5 games going on. It's going to be a juggling match at night, but a good one.
I would have thought they would have staggered some of these, if I'm being honest.
They kind of did. There is some really good games in the morning, too.
I guess you're right, because the Tennessee-Georgia is at 2, and then you got Georgia Tech, Clemson early, but you've got Florida, LSU, A&M, Notre Dame, South Carolina, Vanderbilt, all kicking off relatively at about the same time. Here you got, Florida. One thing that I don't ever want to be is the guy that bets on recency bias, right? Everybody saw Florida just get their ass kicked by South Florida. I don't know about ass kicked, but they lost to a team they absolutely should not have lost to in South Florida, unless you were one of the people that was high on South Florida going into it. And now you're coming into Death Valley. We talked about how Tennessee is rocking earlier. I promise you right now, Death Valley is shaking. That whole place is going to be rocking, shaking. They're going to be drinking. I saw people say it's the first time they're going to have alcohol sold at the stadium in Notre Dame. Let me tell you guys this. It don't fucking matter if they sell it or not. These college kids at these college stadiums are getting blasted in the tailgating before the game, regardless. I remember when I was at Tech, and they didn't sell alcohol there. We'd leave, go drink, and then come back in, right? So like all these players all these fans are going to be absolutely lit. Death Valley is going to be a scary place to be tonight if you're a Gator. I think the 9.5 was the overreaction, right? We saw that 9.5 come out as the original line, and then it came back down to around a 7. I personally would have put this at a 5.5 or a 6.5. So at that 9.5, I would only be able to be on Florida. I would only take the points with Florida. But I'm not doing that because I think Florida might be as bad as we think. I think that recency bias might be legitimate. I think Napier needs to be fired. And I think Florida is heading in the absolute worst possible direction that they could be as a program. So what my bet is, and if you tuned in all week to the stuff we have here, I took Houston on the money line and I put LSU on the money line and I got plus 106. Houston did the damn thing last night. So what I need is I need LSU to win this fucking football game. I don't care if they win by 1 point. LSU wins this football game for me. I bring plus money home. So that's where I'm at. What's your thoughts here, Wine Time?
Yeah, we're going to be a little bit on opposites. Not saying I don't agree that LSU, I think, will probably end up winning this ball game. I am on Florida plus 7.5, minus 110, though. Another spot I wish I would have got in a little bit early. Listen, DJ Lagway didn't get all the time. I mean, reports were coming out that he didn't get as much time as he wanted to in the summer because he had that offseason injury, really couldn't get with his wide receivers and his offensive line. So they're kind of meshing together now that we're in week 3 of the season. They didn't look good offensively against USF. Give or take, it was an in-state rivalry. Listen, Billy Napier recruited. This guy knows how to recruit, especially in the state of Florida. I mean, you live in Florida, you want to go to Florida at this point, probably because they have all the money. I guess you can say Miami.
Not anymore.
Going into this year, I think Billy Napier had more 5 stars in his recruiting class than any other school, but that's just 5 stars. But yeah, a big offseason addition that I did like was getting J. Michael Sturdivant, wide receiver from UCLA, went to Cal before that. This kid is a potential future 2nd, 3rd round NFL draft choice. If DJ Lagway can get this guy the ball, this guy's very dynamic with the ball in his hands, very fast off the edge. He's got good size too at 6'3", 205. Get this guy the ball in open space, and he's going to be hard to catch. Jaden Bogg at the running back position, another young guy. I mean, you got a true sophomore and a true sophomore running back and a true sophomore quarterback as your 1-2 punch here. DJ Lagway is built like a fucking truck, man. This guy is an animal out there. He just got to put it together on the field, and I think this is going to be a nice game for him to at least put some of his talent on display today. I think they're going to be able to hang in this game. Billy Napier knows he has to at least stay within a touchdown in this game, I think, to keep his job. If they lose this game, I don't think he gets fired because I don't really know where you go from there. I don't think anyone on staff is really going to take over this job and do a better job than him. But this is a big game for him. LSU, the number 3 team in the nation. Everyone loves LSU. It's going to be rocking there. I mean, this atmosphere is going to be crazy. It's nothing that Florida isn't used to. I think Florida is going to be able to hang with these guys for 4 quarters. I got the plus 7.5. Wish I would have got in at the 9.5. I didn't, though. I'll still take it here. Get J. Michael the ball. Get Eugene Wilson the ball. And that offensive line can protect DJ Lagway. I think they'll be able to hang tight in this game. It's a big game for both these teams. I mean, LSU does not want to go into SEC play with a loss after being the number 3 team in the nation. Same time, Florida, disappointing loss. They don't want to start their SEC play with a loss either. It's going to be a close game, plus 7.5.
I don't know if you guys saw it or not, but Florida released a statement saying that Napier will be the coach for the remainder of the year. Like they came out basically and said that they're not going to fire him until the end of the season. We'll see. Just figured I'd let you guys know that that's the statement that they released after everybody was chanting "Fire Napier" last week. But Moose, what's your thoughts here? Other than
first off, if you're having to make a statement saying, "Hey, we're not firing him," like things aren't going well. So you can take that for what it's worth. But the only side I would look at would probably be Florida, just because of the series history here, where Florida has had some success out in Baton Rouge, in Death Valley. But here's kind of the stat that I think is the most telling is LSU has scored at least 42 points in the last 3 home games versus any Florida team. And these games, the last 3 meetings in Baton Rouge, have gone over the Vegas total with an average of 82.6 points per game. Last year, I was on this exact same bet. I remember being on this bet, and I cannot tell you how many times I would see Nussmeier driving the Tigers down the field, getting into enemy territory, into Gator territory, and a receiver would then drop 2 passes in a row. This was the infamous game where the announcers and Brian Kelly were both ripping on the receivers for jumping at the ball. Like, you could have just stood there and caught the ball. Like, they were jumping, and he was yelling at one specific receiver. I want to say it was Kyron Lacey, but I could be mistaken here. Nussmeier was moving the ball last year. They just just got stopped down in the red zone because they had drops and they just were inefficient down there. But in this series since 2020, I will go through this series. Last year was the under, but here we go. At Florida, 37-34. Home against Florida, 49-42. At Florida, 45-35. And then 23 against Florida, 52-35. This is an over series. Give me the over. I've seen the money go on to the under. I've seen the under go down a little bit. Started at 50.5, got all the way down to 46.5, 47.5. But it kept on trying to come back up. Every time it go down, there was a movement back to the over. I think that's kind of the trend kind of showing up a little bit in that line movement. I will take the over here in a game where I kind of expect the weakness of each defense and the strength of the offense kind of matches up. Florida's got a very good offensive line that has looked good early on. The Florida pass defense, had the pass rush and the secondary have both been weak. And if you're not looking at the weakness of the Florida secondary versus potentially one of the best passing offenses in the country, I think there's going to be success on the offensive side of the ball for both sides. Sign me up for the over. I think this number is a little too short. It's concerning that it's this low in a series that has gone over, absolutely. But I think this is more of a reaction of what happened last year, thinking, they're going to run it back in the same type of theme, same type of tempo. But I still think this is going to go over. There were significant plays last year. There were over 120 plays last year. I think we see another over 120 plays this year. Sign me up for the over.
Sometimes you just hear a bet and you just know you like it. I do like the over here. I think we get points both ways. I think Florida probably covers. I think we get points both ways, and I think LSU wins. That's what I need. Guns, what's your thoughts here?
Well, let me tell you why you should take the under, because it's an underplay. This is such an underplay if you look at the numerical trends with this one and how the line functionality is got to work in this one. I mean, you saw it last week. Florida just can't figure it out on the offensive side of the ball. Minus 36 net yards against USF. They're playing a better defense here with LSU. Now, here's what my theory, and I think it'll come to fruition, and we'll actually see the big picture about who LSU is today. Their offense is going to take a step back. Their defense is going to be the team that's going to carry them to victories now. Nussmeier is a great quarterback. He had great numbers last year, but he did it against a very elite offensive line. Missing Campbell as one of the tackles. He goes over to the Patriots. A lot of guys are gone from that draft, and we've already seen it. Even in the games against Clemson, he only put up, 14 points? La Tech, he only put up 23 points. I think we're going to see a pattern here. However, the defenses have stepped up in both of those occasions. 261 yards of total offense given up to Clemson, 1.6 yards per carry in the rushing game, 31 yards. Then they went against La Tech, 154 yards of total offense from them, 58 rushing yards, 2.1 yards per carry. I think they're going to have a very elite rushing defense. And with DJ Langway, he's going to want to run the ball. He's not going to do it against this LSU defense. And with Nussmeier, I think Nussmeier is going to have fits against this Florida defense. Don't sleep on this Florida defense. The defense hasn't been the problem. It's been the offensive decisions that are getting made with Billy Napier. And I know that LSU kind of owns the series, so I lean towards them, but I hate the spread. I would say that money line parlay that Daby did was probably a great decision. And the over was 6-1 in their last 7 meetings, right? Last year it did go under, like Moose alluded to, but guess what the total was? It was 57. It's 47.5, 48. That is a line correlation right there. That means it's going to be low scoring, and we're going to see the pendulum swing the other way. It used to be a high-scoring series. It's not a high-scoring series anymore. Give me the under all day long.
Today is the day, not just the games, but this today feels like what the tailgate felt like last year. The first couple shows, we had way too much fucking kumbaya up here.
Dude, I'm going to fucking fade Moot. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, all right. No, but hey, here we go, though. Here we go, though, on this next.
Very well. It's worked out very well is the answer. It's worked out very well.
Fuck you, man. No way. It hasn't. Check the records. You may have got me a couple times that you remember in your Moose head, but I'm telling you, you fade me, you lose. And I probably have some DMs that said, like, you were right about this one. I'm going to go.
Yeah, from like 3 years ago.
Dude, I was 64% on the show last year.
Hey, look, here's the deal. I won't send any of you assholes a DM after.
I'm not going to do it either. If it doesn't,
after A&M not only covers the spread but beats Notre Dame today, I won't send you a DM because, like I said earlier, I'm not an asshole. Okay, so I won't send that message to you guys. I want to go last here. I want Guns to go second to last here because I know both of us have a lot to say on this one, and I want to go last, Guns, because I got to be able to rebuttal you because I know you're going to bring the fucking heat.
That's fine.
So Wine Time and Moose, I'll let you guys set this up. Let me just say one more time, though. We got just about 200 people, just over 200 people in the chat on YouTube. Thank you, guys. Between YouTube and X, it's up to 530 people right now. We really appreciate y'all. Go over to Pub Sports Radio on YouTube if you are on X. Hit the subscribe button and jump in the chat. We do giveaways. We do a lot of different stuff, but you need to be on YouTube to get that. Let's go. Let's talk about what I think is the most exciting football game of the year so far. Start us off, Wine Time.
Yeah, this is definitely an exciting game here. I'm a lot more invested in the Tennessee-Georgia, but I'm right here with you guys. I mean, I feel like we're all going to be on opposite sides here. Well, I think it's probably going to be a 2-on-2, but I'm not sure what Moose is on in this spot, actually, Moose. I'm not sure, but we'll get to that. With that being said, I already broke this game down with Jimmy on Friday or on Wednesday. If you guys want to watch it, it's clipped out. I'm on Notre Dame -7. I could have gotten to 6.5. I wanted the 7 at plus 100. I think they're going to blow the doors off these guys probably by 10 to 12 points here in this game. It's going to be in South Bend, Indiana. It's going to be a very hostile environment. Marcus Freeman, he's had over a week to prepare. It's crazy that he didn't have a game last. It's just all this time to prepare. It's absolutely wild, and we know what he does when he has time to prepare. He wins. They have a coaching advantage. He's a better coach than Mike Elko at this point in their careers. I could say that. And listen, Texas A&M, they've got a very talented roster. They very much could stay within this game. I just think Notre Dame needs this game a lot more than A&M. A&M, this is a non-conference game. Notre Dame doesn't have a conference. If they lose this game, they could win every game the rest of the season, and they're nowhere going to get close to the college football playoff. Absolutely not. And if so, it'd probably be some foolery within
They'll
the
still put a 10-win Notre Dame team in the college playoffs.
Yeah, which is kind of crazy with the schedule. But with that being said, I think Notre Dame's still a really good team. I think C.J. Carr, we saw that second half. We saw him actually come to life a little bit. Difference between him and Riley Leonard, he's actually can throw the ball downfield. Riley Leonard didn't want to throw the ball downfield at all. He wanted to run with it. I think C.J. Carr has a better pocket presence and a better arm than Riley Leonard. And I think he's had some time to prepare for this A&M defense. These teams faced last year in College Station. It was a close game. But at the same time, this is in South Bend, this game. And I think Notre Dame's going to take care of business. I think their corners are going to be able to lock down their wide receivers. And I think that they're going to be able to hang tight in this game. I think they're going to be able to blow these guys out probably by 10 to 12 points. I could be wrong, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I think Notre Dame's just that good. I think they have that good of a coach, and I think they'll be prepared for this one. So give me Notre Dame -7 plus 100.
Terrible take, Moose.
All right, this is the ultimate market versus trends game. If you look at the trends in this game, the trends are significant to Notre Dame. Notre Dame with Freeman off of a bye, 5-1 last year, 3-0 in 23, 2-0 in 22. If you do the math, that is 10-1 ATS off of a bye. And Notre Dame versus ranked opponents, 6-1-1 ATS. A&M under Elko is 2-2 ATS. They are Notre Dame against ranked opponents, 3-0 to the over. Last year, A&M on the road, 64.75 average total points combined. But you look at the market here, and you will see, you'll see 52% of the spread bets on A&M. And the more telling factor is you look at the money line where it's 3% of the bets, 19% of the cash, and that money line has been dropping. You've seen reverse movement on that money line towards Texas A&M. I didn't really know where to go. I would lean A&M because I'm not sure if we remember last year, but that was Riley Leonard essentially in that last drive that got a touchdown in a game that was essentially a 3-point game, looked like it was going to finish as a 3-point win and ended up being a much bigger cover. I kind of think this is another really close game. I would lean to the under, but I can't get there because A&M on the road last year was an over machine. Notre Dame against top 25 teams has been an over, and I couldn't really get to the A&M side just because of Notre Dame's market or the trends versus the market. I mean, Freeman is one of the best coaches if you give him time to prepare. There might not be a better coach that game plans and prepares his team more than Freeman. I got questions about that Notre Dame O-line, which is crazy to think because
I
this
got
is
comments about it for you.
Well, like, this is one of the best O lines that we thought we were going to see in the preseason. And I was in my head, I had it compared to the Michigan offense that we saw from a couple years ago when they were cheating, and they didn't really need to cheat because they could have just handed the ball off to me. I could have run behind that offensive line. But this year, that Notre Dame offensive line has not looked nearly as good. Miami was winning in the trenches. Carr looked good. I liked what I saw from Carr. Jeremiah Love is probably the best college running back in the country. But A&M's rush defense is solid. I mean, I didn't really know where to go here. So I ended up staying off. I'm still leaning towards A&M. I might get pushed onto A&M here, but that's the only side I can be on. I don't really want to go against the trends of Freeman at home, Freeman on a bye. But if I remember last year, the same situation, Louisville came in as 7-point dogs, and the number ended at 6.5, and Notre Dame won by how many, Guns?
You hear that?
6?
7. They won by 7. So you need to get that. You need to get that 7. If you're on A&M, you have to get the 7, in my opinion. If you're on A&M, that half a point from the 6.5 to the 7 is going to be crucial, because we saw the exact same scenario last year. The 7 pushes, the 6.5 doesn't cover. So if you're playing A&M, I think it's imperative that you get the 7.
Moose, you got to listen really closely if you want to hear it. You hear it? This is a pitter-patter of pussyfooting. I hear it. It's pitter-patter, pussyfooting all around. We got a bad take on Notre Dame. We got a pitter-patter pussyfoot. Now we're going to get another bad take on Notre Dame. Go ahead, Guns.
Before, let me just speak on something, too. I know Guns is probably going to touch on this. I mean, if you guys have seen this defense for Texas A&M, they've missed over 25 tackles already this year against subpar opponents. What's going to happen when they miss a tackle and Jeremiah Love in open space? Gone. If A&M cleaned up their tackling this week, we'll see, but I think you need more than a couple days to clean up tackling. That's just another no.
You ready?
Here, let me move Guns over to this side.
Hold on.
Get him away from me. We're going to go opposite sides here. This is about to piss me off.
I honestly don't know what I'm going to do about this game. I really don't. I don't know what I'm going to do. I have no idea.
Here come the Irish of Notre Dame.
All right, don't copyright us.
All right. I was going to cut it short, believe me.
Oh, that was great, Guns.
Listen. The only team to take in this game is the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. There are significant trends that Moose alluded to, and I hate what he said about Texas A&M's defense, how they're good against the run. If they were so good against the run, then why did UTSA put up 203 rushing yards and 6.2 yards per carry against them in week 1? This team cannot tackle, and they can't stop the run, and that was something that was missing in that Miami game. They were getting a little bit too cute, especially in the first half. They grabbed the old Riley Leonard playbook on the offense for Denbrook, and he goes, oh, this is 2024. Then he threw it away, grabbed the right playbook for C.J. Carr, and C.J. Carr flourished in the second half, tied the game. And of course, you had the field goal. Carson Beck was very elite in the 2-minute drill. But in this one, the A&M team has not been battle-tested. And you have Freeman that prepared for an entire week. When he is prepared off a bye, he is 8-1 ATS. He wins by a margin of 25.2 points per game in those situations. Yes, there were some cream puffs in those games, but there was some ACC prominent ranked opponents that were in that sample size as well. He dominates those spots. Then you got to look at last year. College Station, Notre Dame was a dog week 1. Won the game outright. They were a +3 dog. Now they're almost a -7 favorite the next year. At night, South Bend, off a bye. Also, you got to look at Notre Dame, 10-2 ATS as a single-digit favorite last 2 years under Freeman, 3-0 ATS as a home favorite versus ranked opponents. Notre Dame is a max bet, everybody. Let's just face it. I'm not saying this as a fan. I'm saying this from a capping standpoint. These are the spots you look for in college football. Notre Dame's going to thump the Aggies. You're not College Station anymore. Sorry, Mike Elko. You're done today. Give me Notre Dame -6.5.
So many things to say. I'll start with the comment on Mike Elko. Look, you can say that Notre Dame has a better coach all you want, wine time. fine. I might not even argue that, but like the way you guys are saying it is almost like Mike Elko is not a good coach. Like Mike Elko is
He's bad on the road. He's 0-6-2 ATS last year.
Mike Elko is a great coach. He's in his second year at A&M. They're just now starting to get some continuity on the team. They're finally starting to look more like a Mike Elko team instead of a Jimbo Fisher team. We talk about that defensive line. Look, that's my big number one concern for A&M. I do agree with that. The defensive line scares me. But who does the defensive line go against? They go against the offensive line, right? And let me talk about Notre Dame's offensive line for just a second. So everybody knows, I say it all the time, Pops was an Aggie, so I grew up watching A&M football games Saturday morning. Pretty much the only team that I consistently watched, right? He's heading to South Bend, Guns. He's got a buddy who actually was
He's 0-2 ATS and straight up versus Notre Dame as a head coach, by the way. Just want to put that out there, too. Mike Elko lost it at Duke. Notre Dame did cover that spread, and they lost last year at College Station. 2 road games, by the way, lost both. Now you got to go to South Bend at home with a homecoming. This is a bad spot, man.
I didn't interrupt you when you were talking, Guns.
I'm you.
So all I want to say is my dad's heading to South Bend, all right? His buddy Randy Ellis, who was a starting offensive lineman for Notre Dame for 3 years, bought my dad, Gary Kubiak, and a couple of their other buddies that are all running buddies, their best friends, first-class tickets to South Bend. He got them hotel rooms, and they're going to be on the sidelines, right? This guy that I'm talking about, Randy Ellis, is somebody who donates money to Notre Dame in a big way. He's like you, Guns. You could call him a booster. He's a very successful person. He's got his own orthodontic practice. So he's a millionaire, and he donates a lot of money to Notre Dame, right? He's very involved in the program. And as a former offensive lineman, when Randy Ellis tells me this is the worst offensive line that we've had at Notre Dame in 15 years, he's somebody that I listen to. Now, Randy Ellis also likes Notre Dame in this game, but I listen to the flaws with the team, right? If this Notre Dame offensive line is not as good as everybody else thinks, I think that this game right here is going to be an absolute slugfest, and I think points are going to come all game. I know everybody likes to lean towards the under, but I think this game gets up and over this total. I took Marcel Reed over 33.5 rushing yards as well. Listen, Marcel Reed has covered that in 11 out of the 12 games that he started. So yes, it's saying that Notre Dame is going to be locked down. I get it. I hear it. But I don't think it's going to be locked down enough to stop Marcel Reed. Another counterpoint that I want to throw out there, Wine Time, I've already gone back and forth with you on this one, but you kind of touched on A&M's receiver room the other day. And yes, Casey Concepcion is great coming out of North Carolina State. I get it. But I'm not even sure that Casey Concepcion's the best receiver that they picked up. Mario Craver, now he's not as big and as imposing of a figure as Concepcion is, but Mario Craver is fucking electric.
Yeah, he's good. I like him.
He's already got 236 yards in the 2 games. He can absolutely fly. He's elusive. He's little. So last year when A&M played, they had this many receivers they could throw the ball to. 0, not 1, okay? They did not have an offense with Marcel Reed that was planned around him. They had Connor Wigman in the game, who looked great for Houston last night. I get it. Connor Wigman's got vaginitis, okay? That kid's going to get hit at some point this year. He's going to be hurt. He's going to stop playing. Didn't like him then. Don't like him now. Reed is a gamer. He's going to turn up. You got Le'Veon Moss in the backfield. You got Amari Daniels. You got Ruben Owens. You got Casey Concepcion. This fucking offense is so good. What does the defense do? That's my concern. So I like the over, but my bets, I got A&M +7, and I've got Marcel Reed over 33.5 rushing yards. There we are. Wow. I for this.
Oh, good take. Good take.
Yeah. Great info, guys.
I don't know how to go. I don't know where to go from this. Like, this is it for me, guys. I don't know how to end the show. I don't know what do we do next?
Shout out to everybody. I'm going to do a razor type of deal.
Hey, I sometimes when I channel my inner razor, I can do it. What we are going to do real quick, though, guys, is recap the bets that we gave out here on this show across the board. We're not going to give any breakdowns. We're just going to recap the bets that we gave out. Guns, if you can, let everybody know where they can find you on Why Lose. Moose, drop the Moose doc, and I'm going to put the link in the chat. Wine Time, tell everybody what Ragu and all those guys got going on. And then we're going to bring our dude Gorky up to tell us his best bets. And then we're going to fuck off and let you guys go get paid.
All right, I gotta jump off. I gotta go jump on another show. I'll be on Sports Grid with Gabe Morency, so I gotta give a little bit of preparation for that one. I'm gonna cut another promo on Notre Dame on that show, but I digress. Go find me @whylose_guns on Instagram. Give me a follow. I do 9 a.m. Instagram lives on there, and I just talk college ball for an hour before I come on this show. And go check out my Telegram. Links in the bio on Instagram. I got a special deal, weekend package, $50. You get all the way through Thursday, and if I don't make you at least 5 units, I'm going to give you 2 months for free. I'm telling you, I will cash tickets in college football and the NFL. But I appreciate you guys. Moose, wine time, eat shit, Daby, just for this week, and then we can be friends again after in the next week. But let's cash some tickets, boys. Let's dominate the board. And as always, go Irish. Let's keep dancing. Bye.
Hell yeah, Guns. Shout out to our guy Guns, man. Even though I could not disagree more with liking Notre Dame like you and Wine Time do, I couldn't enjoy capping with somebody more than I enjoy capping with you guys. Best bets, Moose, and then Wine Time. Then I'll give you guys my 4 bets that I've got still active today, and then we're going to hear from Gorky, and then we're going to go get paid.
All right. I am just going to go through my bets here, all of them, even the couple that we did not talk about here. I got Clemson. I did a double dip on Clemson. I took the -3, and then when it dipped down to the -2.5, I grabbed the -2.5 again. I am on Tennessee +6. I'm not playing the money line because I lost so much value on the money line. I'd rather just take my +6 for my 2 units. I'm on the FIU blind over at 58 until it gets me 0-3 or until the total gets to 60. I will be playing that. I'm on Georgia Southern -3, Arkansas +7 money line. I'm on the over Florida LSU, and I am on Vanderbilt team total over 21.5, Duke money line, and I'm on Minnesota for a 2-unit play at Cal.
Beautiful.
Love it. Yeah, guys. Great breakdown. Great show today, guys. I'll go over my plays really quick. And I also just added a play that I skipped on when we first talked about it. But gathering some information, I think I found a play. But we're going to go to the Georgia-Tennessee game. I'm on the under 49.5, -110. I'm on Georgia -3, -120. I'm on the Tennessee team total under 23.5, -120. I'm on Arkansas +7, -110. Florida +7.5, -110. Alabama, Wisconsin under 46.5, -110. Notre Dame -7 +100. We didn't talk Purdue, but I'm on Purdue +21.5, -110. Took the points there. And then I just added Georgia Tech +1 in the first half for a full unit. Just tweeted it out as well.
My bad for missing that Purdue game. I did have the graphic there.
Oh, you're good. No, you're good. It's not. You're good.
So I got 4 guys. One of them is carrying over from yesterday, but if you tuned into Betting with the Bag and you follow me on X, you would have been able to get in on it. I got Houston on the money line. We're good. And I got LSU on the money line. It comes in at +106. So I just need LSU to win. I've got the over 48 in the Vandy, South Carolina game. I still like the 48, or I still like the 48.5 if you got to lay it. But I did get a over 48. You can, I wouldn't buy the half a point, but I mean, you can if you want the same number I got. I've got Marcel Reed over 33.5 rushing yards, comes in at -114. And then I've got A&M +7 at -110. I want to throw this out there, guys. This is not a unit bet. I didn't even put a half unit on it. I just have a small bet. I put like $40 on something here. I took Le'Veon Moss to get a touchdown, Marcel Reed over 30.5 yards, and A&M to win the game. It comes in at +850. If A&M does win that football game, Le'Veon Moss hits the end zone and Marcel Reed gets his rushing yards. So I think it's a really smart same game parlay if you want to ride that with me. Shout out to all you guys in the chat, man. We love you guys. Thank you for rocking with us. Drop your action. We're going to get our guy Gorky up here. Go back and forth with him real quick. But if you guys drop your action, I'm going to highlight it. And without further ado, let's bring our guy here that closes this show in the best way possible. Our friend, our guy, Gorky. What up, Gorky?
The Goracle.
The Goracle. I like that.
Now. All right.
If you say Notre Dame, the show's over.
Oh, fuck yeah, Notre Dame, Georgia money line.
I don't think you heard what I just said, Gorky.
Well, we don't. But remember the rule: we don't have to agree on shit. Yeah, we just gotta get paid.
Exactly. There we go.
Well, you're not getting paid if you took Notre Dame. Oh, you did take the money line, though. All right. I digress. You can keep going.
I did, and we can both get paid because I think that this is going to be a hell of an offensive game. I really do. I think CJ Carr is just a little bit more lucky because he'll be at home here playing in front of those Catholic kids. They won't be drunk. Actually, they will be. They'll be drunk out of their fucking minds. And this is a must-win game for Notre Dame, in my opinion, because they don't have a championship game to lean on. They don't have a championship game to get to.
Right.
So if you lose here, you're done. You already lost to Florida or to Miami. I was on Miami that day, and CJ Carr almost beat me.
All I heard was Catholic and kids. I know those go together.
Well, yeah, it is what it is. As long as Notre Dame gets the win, I'm good. But it's also parlayed with Georgia. I think that Georgia runs the hell out of Tennessee, in Neyland Stadium, and they get it done. Kirby Smart is the man here, and that's the spot. I also like a game that you guys did not touch on, and that is Cal. Cal at home on the money line, plus 100. Let's go. Minnesota has to travel cross country from the Midwest. Not a great spot for them. They're not a great team offensively either. Cal on the money line is the play.
That is a horrible travel spot for them. Also, dude, I can't stand their coach, man. Either of you guys bet that one before I let Gorky keep going? Just you're muted, by the way. One time
you're muted, bro.
Moose is on that one.
Yeah. Minnesota all day. Give me Minnesota 2-unit play. Cal's got a solid quarterback, but beyond that, I mean, Oregon State. That game was I was on Oregon State there because I thought I could fade Cal, and apparently Oregon State decided to not play football this year. And I just think Minnesota is a significantly better team. The area to attack Cal is going to be in the secondary, and I mean,
true.
Like I get it. I get that it's the fading a redshirt freshman quarterback, but dude, he looked so good when I was watching him against Buffalo. And I mean, Buffalo is a legit defense in my opinion, but Ryan Lindsay, dude, he can sling the ball. I mean, talk about a guy that was able to stick in the pocket. He was able to make the throws to the sideline. There was a throw he made that I was kind of like, yo, that is an advanced throw. It was an out route, and he threw it on time, and he threw it to only a place where his receiver could get it, and it was brought in for a clutch first down in a big moment of the game. And that was a momentum building moment. That was a confidence building moment. And there are certain freshmen, there are certain young quarterbacks that when you see them, you just immediately go, that dude's legit. Like that dude is a dog. And given the Minnesota offensive line that is massive, I mean, talk about the biggest offensive line in college football. And Cal is a bit undersized on the offensive line. So I think I have a significant advantage here as long as the Cal passing game isn't overly effective against Minnesota on the road, where Minnesota has struggled. PJ Fleck on the road has struggled, but a lot of his struggles have actually happened when he travels east, not when he goes west. He's actually played pretty well on the west side, and I don't really think it's a bad travel spot. I mean,
PJ Fleck is an ass clown.
He's not. Yeah, the whole row the boat thing kind of got old really quick.
He's gonna roll the boat all the way back to Minnesota like a motherfucker.
Yeah. I mean,
he encourages his players to snitch on each other.
Wait, what are you talking about?
He encourages his players to snitch on each other. Have you not heard that?
What are you
There's
talking about?
like a reward system for like turning fucking people in for doing shit that's not right on their program.
I mean, you holding people accountable.
That is not a good coach. That's dog shit. No, you hold your team accountable by just letting them know that they better not fuck up. You don't say, hey, wine time, will you come let me know if Gorky's saying some bad shit behind my back?
What he's saying is PJ Fleck is a fucking cuck.
He is 100%. I agree. I couldn't agree more with that take, Gorky. I agree 100%. So anyways, but we digress. Here. So let's, what was I about to hit here? Somebody in the chat had something in there that I wanted to touch on. Where did it go? Shout out to our guy Nutflush. It was Jose. I haven't seen Jose bet anything all year, and he comes in here and drops a 3-team parlay, starting with ODU over Virginia Tech. Now, I do think Virginia Tech's terrible, but interesting there. What's your odds, Jose? What's up, Gorky?
One more second, Doug, before I forget this, because, my CP retarded brain may forget this and start talking about Macedonian handball for all I know. So I have also Georgia Tech on the money line, 12 o'clock. Dabo Sweeney and his cousins can take their show all the way back to South Carolina.
All right. So there we go. Was that all of them, Gorky? Is that all your bets there?
Yes, sir.
So we loaded you guys up in the chat, man. You got best bets from our guy Kong. He came on earlier. Gorky just now. Guns, Moose, Wine Time, myself. Go ahead, Gorky.
I have more, but they're not college football. So we're going to stick to college football only on this show. So, guys, if you want all my bets, you can hit my Twitter up and we can talk there. This is about college football.
Man, thanks for joining us here at the end of the show every week, Gorky. I love it. Everybody in the chat, Kevin, Abel, Man Bear Pig, NJ Striker, all y'all, Zoe, Wager Detective. Thank you guys, man. We don't have anything without you. The only reason we're up here is because you guys tune in the chat. So thank y'all. Share the video if you can. We didn't get to that 250, but I want to make it happen next week. I want to start a show with the giveaway. So let's hit that 250 next week. Hit the like button if you haven't hit it. Let's go get paid today, man.
One more second. My take on Georgia Tech being able to stick with Clemson is the fact that they're at home. They have an offense where they can keep the ball away from this offense of Clemson. And plus, we don't know what wide receiver one is going to be up to at Clemson because the guy was injured last week and didn't play. Do we have news that he's in? I haven't seen any.
No, they're going to wait till last second to tell us too.
Right. So it is what it is. That's why I want this game on the money line. If I lose, I lose. But if I win, it's a notch in my belt. Let's go.
Hell yeah. Before I hit the exit, right there, that link that I highlighted, guys, Moose, hundreds and hundreds of pages of effort and capping that he put in preseason. And now every week he caps every single game for you guys. And it's free. All you have to do is click the link. I promise you there's not another show or another channel that's giving you as much information just completely for free.
This man pays you money for free. You would be dumb not to take advantage of it and read his efforts.
Exactly, because like Gorky just said, whether or not you agree with the bet that he comes to, the information is non-negotiable. The information is facts that he puts in there. So you got great information in there. Go subscribe. Hook our guy Moose up with a thank you. Show some love. Post it on Twitter. Guys, let's get paid today. What a great day of college football.
And I'm proud of you guys. You guys kept it short. I was back there watching this whole time. You didn't go over bets 17 times. You kept it short and to the point. This was good.
That's a good thing. Really it's already 10 minutes until kickoff still. So we have to. Let's go, boys. Hey, thank y'all. We love y'all.
Thank you guys for watching, and tune in next week and every day on Pub.
Let's go.
Because this is what it's about.
Yep.